We are drowning in so much false knowledge. If the Bible contains the true words of God, and if we're the people of the Bible, how then do you explain the contradiction that the Bible says that those people will be taken out of bondage upon reaching 400 years? But we continue to be oppressed beyond 400 years. Furthermore, the fact that the Bible strongly condones slavery totally disqualifies it from containing the true words of God. And if we, African Americans, are the true indigenous Americans, how then do you explain the fact that our DNA does not match those found within the bones of the ancient Americans? Our DNA actually matches with Africans, thus proving our African ancestry. And if the Willie Lynch syndrome is true, that Black people are programmed to never to support each other, how then did Barack Obama receive over 90% of the Black vote twice? And if we're programmed to be divided, how then did we implement the most successful unified Black protests in U.S. history during the 1960s? It's by deliberate design, yet we're now drowning in so much false knowledge. The worst affliction for the oppressed is not an ignorant mind. It's actually an ignorant mind that has been fed false knowledge. Because an ignorant mind alone might continue to search for the liberating truth. But an ignorant mind that possesses false knowledge, believing that it's true, stops searching for the liberating truth and therefore becomes mentally enslaved by the false knowledge. The Bible, Willie Lynch, and the Where the True Indigenous American claims are mental enslaving false knowledge. What oppressive forces keeps us believing in many falsehoods because it keeps us divided, confused, and our liberating strategies flawed. They've spread so much disinformation into the Black community until virtually everything believed by the Black population are lies that hinders our liberation. It confuses the Black community to such an extent that we're not able to come to any sensible conclusion in the interest of liberating ourselves from white oppression. Our core problem is that those false beliefs have been so deeply embedded into the minds of some Black people that many fight fiercely against each other to defend their false beliefs. The reason why white oppressive forces did this to us is because, given the white society's long history of brutally mistreating and exploiting Black people, there's an immense concern of massive unified Black retribution that secretly exists amongst the white ruling elites. By keeping us drowning in divisive disinformation, they prevent our ability to engage in massive unified Black retribution against their white society. Furthermore, the white society's exploitation of Africans has also provided it with an era which has flourished most throughout history. To allow this era to end would be directly against the interests of the white society, especially given that the white society's dependence on Africa's natural resources is indefinite. Therefore, through their monopoly over information that we receive, white oppressive forces have spread lots of disinformation and misinformation into our communities that keeps us confused and divided. It's how the white society protects itself from massive unified Black retribution, thus protecting its interests. The white establishment has revealed through many of their movies what they've done to Black people. In the 1990 Matrix film, Neo awakened to discover that the true humans were being mentally enslaved by soulless beings. Moreover, that these soulless beings were the programmers of everything that the true humans believed. They kept the true humans trapped within a false reality that allowed the soulless beings to continue exploiting the humans without any resistance. In the 2017 movie Get Out, the film's main character, Chris, must resist becoming mentally enslaved by a group of affluent white people. Along the way, he discovers that it has already been successfully done to many black people. He then finds himself being attacked by black people with white minds. The white ruling elites often reveals through movies what they've done to black people. Some describes this practice as being a form of ritual mocking of the victim, but it's actually a practice that allows the white oppressors to avoid the law of karma, called revelation of the method. While it's often unknown to most actors and directors, but movies are often greenlit for production by white studio heads that have direct connections to the ruling white elites to be used as a revelation of the methods. There are hidden rules and principles within the warfare of domination that must be adhered to. The oppressors must make their oppressive tactics available to the oppressed. They therefore often embed them within movies, TV shows, and books. They don't make the revelation easy to recognize. They do so only to meet the threshold necessary to avoid the law of karma. Karma. They masquerade it to appear as being merely entertainment. However, because the oppressive tactics have been made available, when the oppressed do not act upon the knowledge, by default they've given the oppressors permission to oppress and rule over them. Black people, it's time to wake up and get out of the matrix.